like. So I just want to say, welcome everybody to the webinar today. We're going to talk about you started your business, now what? And we're also going to talk about developing and sustaining successful business relationships. So I'm going to start out by saying congratulations. For those that have started their business, for those that are looking to start their business, congratulations just for the idea, the concept. Congratulations to those who have doors open or online open. But today we're going to talk about businesses and new businesses. So what do I do now? I've now kind of started the business. So what do we do now? The first thing, and I'm not going to belabor this point, the first thing I want to talk about is make sure you have the right business structure. So in saying that, you may have already developed it, but it's never too late to change the structure of it. So if you were a sole proprietor, if you were established as an LLC, it is never too late to change it from an LLC to an S Corp, or if you were sole proprietor, change it to an LLC structure. So that is important. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I will say when you start it, think about how you want it to be structured. What level of personal liability you want to be responsible for. So, and how you want to pay taxes. So those things are all important. I'm not an accountant, but I will tell you that how you do it, how you structure it from the beginning will help you in the long run. If you're unsure of how to do that, I would say get with an accountant, perhaps a tax attorney. They can help you decide on which is best for you. Some key points that I just wanted to make sure you guys were kind of aware of was the kind of structure that you choose depends on your industry also. And what do you do in that particular industry? And for example, like a real estate investment company, they may decide they want to be an LLC. And why? Because it ensures that some sort of a level of safety to their personal liability and assets. So an LLC, it allows you to have a certain level of protection from your personal entity. So the business would become the entity that would be assume all of the liability risks. So again, think about how you want to structure the business. And again, consult a tax attorney, or you can just meet with your accountant. So the other thing is, this is where a lot of people kind of take their time in. I will say, build your business credit. This is extremely important, everyone. If you have a business, building your business credit is where a lot of people fail. They have it, they're working this business, but they don't think about that part. It's not particularly complicated. I am going to put some important points here. We're going to talk about that. You can't have a successful business without establishing business credit, because that business credit is what allows you to build that business, meaning it allows you to get loans and funding, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll go over that in a minute. But one of the first things you want to do once you have your LLC, once you have, whether it's a location or it's an online business, whatever it is, once you've established the structure of it, you want to get a Dun & Bradstreet number. So this is a 9-digit identifier for businesses. It's called the Data Universal Numbering System. And why do you want to get that? Because for those that understand credit, like your personal credit, you have a credit score. So Dun & Bradstreet kind of helps you establish that. So you get a Dun & Bradstreet number, which is basically your social security number. Well, I won't say social, but it's your number to establish credit, because your EIN number is going to be like your social security number to file taxes. So once you get your EIN number for your business, you'll use that to file taxes. The Dun & Bradstreet number is the number that you will use to establish credit. So you want to make sure you get a Dun & Bradstreet number. The other bureaus that you can check for credit or establish credit through is Equifax Small Business and Experian Business. These are the ones that you want to establish your business credit with. The UEI number, this is new. So before April of 2022, you had to have a Dun & Brad number in order to get a federal grant or to apply for federal grants, any money from the federal government. So as of last April 2022, you needed a UEI number. So the federal government no longer requires you to have a Dun and Brad number in order to apply for federal grants and contracts, et cetera. You need a UEI number. So the UEI number, again, is no longer needed for a federal grant to apply for a federal grant or contract. You still need the Dun and Brad number though to establish your credit. So you can apply for a UEI number, and I've listed it here at sam.gov. That is the 12 characters that are assigned by the federal government. It's not hard to get. Go to sam.gov and it will explain to you how to get it. It is free to get, just as your Dun and Bradstreet. It is free to get. And one other thing I'll just kind of mention, your business credit score goes from between 80 to 100. So if you get an 80, that's like having a 850, 900 credit score on your personal credit. So that's extremely important. And there are reasons why you want to do that. So why do you need a Dun and Brad? So again, you can still get loans, you can get contracts, you can get credit cards based on your business credit score. This also lets potential investors and banks make an informed decision as to whether they're going to loan you money or not, just like your personal credit. And good business credit, it results in better credit payment, better terms, better interest rate, all of that. So again, it's just like your personal credit, it's just for business, but you want to be sure to establish it. The other major benefit to having your business credit is that it kind of protects you from your personal. So if you were using your personal credit card to make purchases for the business, you would now use your business credit, and it separates your business from your personal. So it's not going to hit your personal credit, it's going to hit your business credit. Once you get credit cards or accounts under the business, again, it's going to hit your business credit and not your personal. There are a few credit cards a few business credit cards that hit your business and your personal, but that's, I think Chase, they say, is one of them. Discover Business is one of them. But the rest of them, and when you apply for them, they'll tell you whether they submit to both your personal and your business. But you really want to have your business credit established. Someone asked, and I will try to answer questions as we go along if I see them in the chat. Someone asked, is it good to have both? I'm not sure if it means both business and personal, or if it meant to have DUNS and the UEI number. But regardless, it's always good to have both. I'll try to answer this as best I can. It is always good to have both personal and credit established. Okay, so the DUN and the UEI number, you should have both. Yes, because the Dun and Bradstreet establishes your business credit. That'll give you your business credit score and helps you establish your business credit score. The UEI number is specifically for applying for money from the federal government. So if you wanted to get money for contracts and grants through the federal government, you must have the UEI number now. So hopefully that answers. And the PowerPoint will be made available at the end. We are recording it. So you'll see it on the recording.
Someone was detected at your office.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you a video. It's a really quick video as to the importance of a DUN account. Okay, this will buffer now. So sorry, everyone.
Number serves a variety of functions that can help your business grow. The DUNS number is a business identifier that is assigned to any business entity in the Dun & Bradstreet data cloud. Once that entity has been determined to be unique from any other in the data cloud, a DUNS number is assigned and becomes the anchor for its live business identity. DUNS numbers never expire and are never reused. The DUNS number brings 4 main benefits to customers of any size. Number 1, anchored by the DUNS number, live business identity provides insights on companies in the data cloud, enabling you to better understand your potential business partners and them to better understand you. Live Business Identity delivers the ability to see connections between businesses, which can serve many business needs. This is essential for vetting suppliers, understanding sales prospects, and adhering to compliance rules. Number 2, the DUNS number is an essential identifier that is required to do business with many other companies and government agencies around the world, as it enables verification of business existence and identity. Number 3, for businesses of any size, the information in your business credit file, which is tied to your DUNS number, can help you qualify for contracts and traditional loans. This can be especially important to a startup or small organization. You can also use another company's credit file to help determine if you want to work with that business and under what terms. Number 4, for larger organizations, the DUNS number can serve as a common identifier to structure and standardize your own data as part of a master data management program or other enterprise data management initiative. See how the DUNS number can help you grow your business.
Okay, so that gives you some information about a DUNS. Again, I think it's important to have both a UEI number and a DUNS number. Again, Dun and Brad, just to reiterate, that's to establish your credit. And creditors and other businesses, suppliers, companies find you. Also, the UEI number is when you want to do business with the federal government. That changed as of last April. So the next thing I want to talk about is building your social media platform. There's a lot of companies that are kind of old school and they're like, I don't really need that. Why do I need to build social media? I believe no matter what business you have, if it's a service-based business, if it's a brick and mortar business, whatever type of business it is, in this day and age, you really, really need to build social media. According to Statistica, the average time social media users spend worldwide on associated platforms as YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc., is 145 minutes per day. And that was in 2020. So think about how much time we spend on social media. I know, I mean, I am guilty of it. I didn't plan to be, but I wake up every day looking at my phone. And I think most of us have gotten to that point that every day, what's available on my phone? I'm like, and I'm checking my business, you know, do I have an email, whether it's for work, whether it's for business, what's new, what's happening. If you have a business, who sent me an email overnight? What is going on? So you always want to make sure that you are present. This is the same way building strong social media can help you. I can't even stress it enough. Again, if you have social media, I mean, like Twitter, be sure and cognizant of how it's going to help you. If you have Instagram, make sure you use it in a way that's going to help your business. And make sure one of the key things I would tell you to focus on, if you have Instagram, make sure it's tied to your Facebook page, your business page, so that it can help you attract a strong following. So why do you need it? And you need it, you can spend less money on marketing. And I'm going to say this, I have a business, I have a small business. I don't spend, you're going to spend some money on media, on marketing, whether it's to print a flyer, to print a little 4x6 card, whatever it is, your business cards. And I know some people are using digital now, but some people like paper still, they like a strong business card. So although you're going to spend some money on marketing, you will spend less, considerably less, to reach a larger audience. If you have, so think about what's conducive to your business. So if you are a service-based business, you know, is Twitter better for you? I don't know. Is Instagram better for you? Is Facebook better for you? Tumblr, Etsy, Pinterest. Think about how you're going to use it and what do you want to use it for, but you can reach a stronger customer base with building your strong social media platform. And again, think about TikTok. I would say no matter what business you have, use it to your advantage. It's here. If you can create or have somebody that you know that's really good at TikTok videos, you want to make a strong TikTok video. So I'm going to say, if you know that's not that's not what you do, that's not your strong point, that's not your platform, don't do it. So make sure you have somebody that you know that can create like a quick, TikTok video for you, just about your business, and pull out what you want to talk about. Make it quick. TikTok goes viral very fast. It's just one of them. Instagram goes viral very fast. So this helps people to understand who you are, what you're talking about, what you represent very fast. Get feedback. This is important too. When we put things out there now, it is important to take into account all of your feedback, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. Again, if it's really negative, you want to throw it out, but you want to take into consideration all of the feedback that you get. And this is where you learn about your customers, who they are, what they like, what they don't like. It helps you to improve like the customer service that you're giving them. So I would always say, be very mindful of the feedback that you get, because it can only help you. And sometimes they can tell you, I want more of this, I want less of this. So it helps you to kind of tweak and hone who you are and what you're putting out there. Follow and outrun the competition. This is probably my favorite point here. You always, always, always want to keep an eye on who your competitors are. No matter if you think I got this market sold up, I'm doing really well, you always want to know who your competitors are and what they are doing, whether it's a direct competitor or an indirect competitor. And by direct, I mean somebody who does exactly what you do. You want to know what they're doing. You also want to know what the indirect competitor is doing. So your indirect is somebody who does a little bit of what you do, but not exactly how you do it. But yet, anybody who can take any of your business away, anybody who could take sales away from you is an indirect competitor. So although they may not do exactly what you do, but if they can take some of the sales that you would probably get, they would be considered an indirect competitor. So you always want to know what they're doing and how they're doing it and how I can do it better. So I'm going to give you an example of this, and I may use it again, but an example of how I want to follow them and see what they're doing. A friend of mine has a fingerprinting business, and it's a biometrics company. And in her business, she has identified, like, I don't know if anybody has ever gotten fingerprints done for whatever business or whatever. But when you get fingerprints done, typically the places are open on sporadic days. They may be open Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They may be open from 10 to 5 or 9 to 4. The hours are not consistent, and they don't have hours that are really conducive to the working environment. So what she did was she started her fingerprinting business, and it's a small thing. She's open from 8 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. So she can get the people that want to go before work, and she can get the people that can come after work, which is so different from the competition. And she gets a lot of people that come in the evening when every other fingerprinting place is closed. So she's getting that business. So again, she looked at what her competitors were doing, and she wanted to make sure she captured the business that they were losing. Because again, you'd have to wait till the next day during business hours, and they close at 4, whatever. So she captures 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours worth of business that people would use when they get off work versus, once they close. So again, just follow and outrun the competition. Always try to do something different. And I'm going to talk about that again. Today's world is incredibly competitive. There are so many businesses out there that are doing some unique things. What you want to do is always make sure that you are doing something just a little bit different. The goal is to think about, how do I stand out from the competitors? But yet I'm offering my target base or my customer base something that they want, value, and or need. That's always important. So again, make sure, how do I differentiate myself? That's how you prove to be successful. So brand differentiation is always, always, always important. Because customers will choose, if they don't find it different, hey, I could just go down the street and get it. Why would they come to you if you're not different from everybody else? I will say this, I think it's important when you think about think about a place that you go to that you just really love going to. It doesn't matter, they can have the exact same thing. Like, I am one who likes ambiance in a store. Like, if I go out to a retail store in the mall or wherever it is, I like ambiance, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's, and that's just my thing. So I will go there because I like what they have to offer as far as the ambiance. So think about, what your customer likes and think about why they would come to you versus somebody else, even if you had the same product. I'm going to kind of stop here before I go to the next slide because I have a couple questions that says, does it make sense to establish business credit when I'm not yet profitable? Absolutely. I would say yes. You don't have to be profitable to establish your retail business account. Have it there and ready for when you need it. So it doesn't hurt you to establish business credit, but have it there available when you need it. One pointer I would say, once you get a DUNS number, you want to make sure that you get this is kind of a point, a tidbit that a lot of people don't tell you. So once you get your Dun & Brad's number, make sure that you can, because how you establish the credit is to use credit. And this is kind of starting all fresh, so you start brand new. So for instance, open like Quill, Quill. Quill is they supply boxes, business office supply. Get you a Quill account. Just establish a regular an account. Get a net 30, net 15. They'll offer you because you have a DUNS number. They'll say, okay, here you can buy this. You order what you want using your DUNS number, and they'll give you 30 days to pay it. So they'll give you the 30 days to pay it, and then you pay it early. So that now starts to establish your credit. Do it for 3 months. Buy something, pay it off. Buy something, pay it off. Pay it before the 30 days are up. You've now started to establish good credit, good business credit. So you do that for 2 to 3, preferably 3 net 30 business accounts that are not credit cards. They're just revolving accounts. They give you, if it's $200, buy it, pay it off. Buy it, pay it off. And that, again, in a few months, you'll have established a very high credit score in your business environment. What's the Dun & Brad's contact information? I think it's dmb.com. So it's dmb.com. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so any questions on that? Just put them in the chat and I will try to answer them as we go along. All right, so decide how and where to sell your products or services. This is important. And I know most people start their businesses and they have an idea of, I'm going to start it here. This is what I want to do. Well, think about using social media as a way to promote and or sell your product and or your service. So 72% of businesses use social media to market their products. Again, it doesn't matter what type of business it is, use it. YouTube, Instagram, as I mentioned before, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I didn't mention them before, but LinkedIn is a great way to promote your business because it is business. And although you're not necessarily selling on LinkedIn, you are promoting the business and people are becoming aware of who you are. Etsy, Facebook, make sure your Instagram is tied to your Facebook business page. This is how you're going to engage and educate the consumer about you and about your business. You want to make sure you sell to your ideal customer. And this, I've mentioned this before in other presentations that I've done. Everybody starts their business with, I want to sell to this customer. Just because that's who you want to sell to does not mean that that is really your customer. So it is, I'm going to tell you, key to making sure you find out who your customer really is, not who you want them to be, find out who they really are. Because once you've established and find out who your customer really is, that's when you can increase your sales. Because like I said, everybody has an idea of, I want my customer to be this, but find out who they really, really are. And that helps you to establish higher sales because you're selling to who is actually gonna use your product and or service and buy from you. So again, if you understand how your ideal customer uses social media, and I'm going to talk about this really quickly, how does your customer use social media? So for instance, if you have an older customer, and I put that in here, 65 or older, most older people don't use YouTube. So if you have a product or a service that you want older people to come to, they're not going to look at YouTube. They're just not going to do it. If you have a younger audience, 95% of 18 to 29-year-olds use YouTube. I think that even goes to, those are statistics. I think it even goes to like middle age of people who actually watch YouTube because they find out you can find anything you want on YouTube. They can find you on YouTube and try to get you a channel. And I'll go into that a little bit later, but try to get you established for your business a YouTube channel and people can subscribe to it. It really does help. But again, figure out how your customer uses social media. Once you do that, that's when you can start to market to them specifically. Oh, and one person also mentioned, so I hate to go back and forth, but Uline also does net 30 for new customers, and I forgot about them. Quill, Uline is a great one. 30 days to pay after they deliver, yes. So net 30 payment terms are established by the supplier, but make sure that you pay them off before 30 days. So I think that was the question. Somebody asked, can I repeat the net 30 stuff again? So again, when you establish your DUNS number, when you get your DUNS number, you establish your business, they'll ask you questions. Once you get your DUNS number, that's gonna be like your number to, that's your business credit number, I guess, your business social number, kind of, I will say. So once you get that, then you wanna approach companies like Uline, companies like Quill, and there's another one I can't think of, but you want to approach them and then establish an account with them, a business account. Establish the business account, and once you establish it, place an order, something that you know you're going to pay for within 30 days. Once you get your product, they invoice you, pay the bill, and do that for about 3 months, and you will establish a strong business credit. The thing is, though, you want to make sure you keep it that way. But that's what you want to make sure you do. Pay it before the 30 days. Be sure, guys, everyone. But they will send you an invoice. They will tell you when the bill is due. They will give you the terms of 30 days. Granger, somebody mentioned Granger. But anybody that's going to give you a net 30, that's what you want to do. Okay, so any other questions, you guys put them in the chat. So I'm trying to just answer them as I go through. So I'm sorry if this is confusing, but I'm just trying to make sure that we answer them as we go. So thank you guys so much. Become a thought leader. Now, I'm gonna start by saying, becoming a thought leader. Another way to engage customers is to share and comment on content that relates to your business. I would leave it at that and stick to that. This is where you find a lot of information on YouTube, TikTok. This is information that teaches about whatever's happening in your industry. If you have a website, I would also say share it on your blog on your website, and then people will start to follow you. This is content that basically your potential customers, people, like I scour YouTube all the time for a particular industry, whatever I'm looking for, and I learn a lot from people who are knowledgeable about that particular topic. And then I follow them if I like what they're talking about or if it interests me. So this is when people will start to find you. Like I said, YouTube is great. If you have a following on your website, or even you have a YouTube page, make sure they follow you on your website. Blogs are great, podcasts are great. That will also help build your brand awareness. The more you become a thought leader, the more it'll drive sales to who you are and to your business. So I just wanted to include some points. Many social media users enjoy how to or why posts. It's everywhere. So again, if you're good at what you do, if you are a good communicator, then I would say definitely, do how-to videos or why videos. They're always great. Industry updates are always good because people want to know what's happening now, and they don't always want to research the information themselves. So if they can just, look at somebody explaining it to them, it's always very important. Think about featuring guests. If you have a podcast, even if you have YouTube, think about featuring guests and engaging in like meaningful conversation. This will help extend your brand awareness. Brand awareness is everything now. It's part of the marketing, part of who we are, which is why social media is so important for whatever, if it's real estate, if it's a tax accountant, whomever it is, it's very important. Like, it's great if a tax accountant can give tips on how to be successful. That's great. So things like that are always important. Tax tips, we love that. So one point of caution, I also want to put here, be careful of how you sell or promote and stay on topic. Making mistakes, this is what you want to stay clear of. Be sure that you're knowledgeable about whatever topic it is you're talking about. Make sure you stay on the positive, because if you don't, it can turn people off. The goal is to add value to the conversation. Make sure you add information that people want. Make sure that, it's something that's going to help them. And again, being a thought leader in your industry, I think is very different today than it was. It's very easy to get the word out. It's very easy to promote your business, and it's very easy for people to understand what you represent today. Measure your success regularly. Now, this is what people are not going to want to hear, a lot of this, but you're going to have to do it. So you have to keep track and record expenses and sales. This is really hard. It's hard for me. Nobody wants to do this. If you have an accountant, it can cost you dearly at the end of the year if you just pile a bunch of receipts on them. But even if you are not profitable yet, and I know that question has been asked of me before, even if you're not profitable, keep track of what you've spent. Again, record your sales, record your expenses so that you can keep track of where you are. Even if it's in a negative, it helps you to understand, okay, I'm falling short here. What do I need to do to try to, even if it's I'm not profitable, break even? Even if it's I want to increase sales in this category, it helps you to understand where you are. You can use QuickBooks. I feel like QuickBooks is easy to use. Or if it's not, you can choose another bookkeeping format. But whatever is going to work for you, I would say definitely keep track of it and take a day once a month just to enter receipts, enter expenses, to look at it. Like I said, this is the part that everybody hates to do. They like the business part of it, but this is the part that's most important, actually. And it's the worst to do. Consistently review your financial statements. Everybody should be aware of their profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, where you are as far as money, cash flow. I understand some people are saying I don't have any now, but it's still important to keep track of it. Understanding your money, understanding what you've spent helps you to understand how much you're going to spend later or how much you're not going to spend later. But again, this is what we don't want to hear, but this is the most important part of business, because again, if you don't keep track of this, you're not going to be in business. So I think it's extremely important. The other thing is get insured and stay insured. Having a small business, some people feel like even if it's a sole proprietorship, I don't need insurance. You need insurance. Everybody needs insurance. Because we're in today's environment where people like to sue. So I would say always get insured, stay insured, make sure. So ensuring that you are insured helps you in the long run, even if it's some insurance that is basic or it's going to cover whatever, but just make sure. And a lot of people, they may get it originally and they let it lapse. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Adopt and adapt. I like this because, and I tell everybody, keep in mind and keep open about unforeseen possibilities and situations. We all get into business and we think, okay, it's going to be great. I'm going to have sales. But you always want to keep in mind, what happens if this happens? What do I do if this happens? A clear example is COVID. I meet a lot of people that business owners, and when I do events for Goldman Sachs, and I'll get into that shortly, but I meet a lot of business owners that say, I had started a business and then COVID happened, or, this happened, during COVID. So it made me do this. We didn't plan for that. So it's kind of one of those situations where you have to make lemonade out of lemons. So you have to always kind of think of what happens if this happens. So it's always kind of being able to shift, being flexible, and being able to improvise when the situation isn't as planned. So that's what successful business owners do. So I would say definitely try to always be mindful of, if this happens, have a plan B. Always have a plan B, and sometimes a plan C and D. Check with your customers all the time to see what they think and how happy they are with your business. Extremely important. I find that a lot of businesses today don't do that. The customer comes through the door and they're like, okay, or if they're mad about something, they don't follow up. I think it's extremely important. We are lacking in customer service today in this day and age. So customers like when you check with them. They like for you to say, okay, tell me what I need to do better. How can I help? How can I improve? They like to provide that feedback. And it also makes them feel like they're valued, which in today's environment, and we all know, you don't necessarily feel valued all the time. So I would say to make sure that you always check in with your customers, no matter what business you have, always, always, always check in to just find out how you're doing and what I need to do better. Reinvest in your company. I've had this conversation with a lot of business owners. I would say to make sure you set a clear goal, even if you don't make any money or you're making very little money at first, try to invest in the business. Plan for when you start a new business that you're not going to be getting a salary. Realistically, the money that you make, you want to try to invest when you first start, to try to invest it into the business so that the business can be successful, and then you can take a salary later. Most successful entrepreneurs will tell you that during the early years, they took little to no salary because they wanted to invest it into the business, whether it's marketing, there's always money to invest. So, I mean, I understand the challenges, especially if you're doing it and you don't have, anything else. But I would say, have a plan that you can make sure that you invest money into the company, even if you do need to take a salary or take something out of it to survive, because I totally get it, but just try to keep reinvesting in the business. When faced with major challenges, Deepak Chopra said, get rid of the box altogether, which I absolutely love, because sometimes you got to throw the box away. We have a plan, doesn't work out. So now I need to change, I need to improvise, I need to go to plan B, C, D. And sometimes I have to create a new plan, which is, again, hey, throwing out the box altogether. Okay. Always be learning. I am a teacher. I teach higher ed as one of my other things. And I will tell you, always be learning. We are always students and there's always more to know. I've been entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur now. I work. I'm the outreach director for Goldman Sachs. And guess what? I am always learning. Every day, there's something to learn. Businesses, like people, are never static. We are always changing. Successful business owners consider themselves to be a student and a mentor. Always help as many people as you can. Be eager to learn from others, no matter what stage they are in their business, because you can have been in business for 20 years and somebody newer comes along that just started a business and they have information to share with you. So always be open to accepting business information, just information in general from anybody. I am always listening to see what I can learn from everybody. And then I can throw away what I don't want, keep what I need, and use it for my business. Adapt and transition is, I think, the key, especially in this world. It changes every day. The evolution is always with us. It's changing very fast. It changes every day. So you always have to keep that innovative mindset in order to keep your business afloat. You always have to be prepared of, okay, what's next? What's next? Business education, stay current in the industry, always be current and observant. Again, there's always more to learn. I feel like business education is the key that keeps you growing, and promote steady growth by implementing new ideas. I will say, if you have a business, always have the business, but always have a couple of other things that fall under the business that will keep the lights on when this one doesn't work. I am a strong believer in not having just one business, a one business model. So then that works for me. So for instance, like my girlfriend who has a fingerprinting business, she does CPR classes, she does notary, She's starting a tow truck business, but always have different things going on so that you are not so dependent on the one business model that you created, because it's like having, always talk about multiple revenue streams. That business should have several things. When this one is slow, this other one is always working. So I would always tell you that would be my suggestion for any business. So I'm going to stop and take some questions here. Okay, so let's go down up. All right, so do we have any company recommendations for business insurance? I would say I've heard people use Next, N-E-X-T. They are, I think, decent for business owners, and they're easy to get. So Next Insurance, I've heard people use. You can try to get with a broker. If you have homeowners insurance or you have insurance with anybody like State Farm or whatever, a lot of times they'll know brokers. I've met various brokers at events, and they deal with strictly business. I guess I have a couple I can put at the end of the chat. I'll put them in there. But they deal with businesses, and that's all they deal with. So again, basic business insurance, I would try Next, because you can look at it online, do it yourself. You don't have to deal with a broker, and it's easy. A broker is going to charge you a fee. It can be $150, $200. So try them. So any other questions? Some people put in here Wave. They said it's like QuickBooks, but it's free. I've heard of them. So Wave, if Wave works for you, I would absolutely say use it. And especially considering there's no cost associated with it. So definitely use Wave. Again, if you have QuickBooks, a lot of people use that. QuickBooks has become a little bit different, because you used to be able to buy the package. Now you have to pay monthly. They've gotten rid of that. Another person put in here, I know a person that I use, Brandy Booker, and she's the Insurance Exchange Ltd. So you may want to try her. Look in the chat. So she can obviously help you with business insurance, but there are a number of brokers out here that help with business insurance again. But these are all good things to know, because I'll write them down as well. But like I said, if you just wanted some basic business insurance, Next is usually pretty cheap, based on what the business is. Depends. All right, so we'll keep going and I'll come back. All right, so here we go. Don't count on your launch. If anybody has had a grand opening, the grand openings are always beautiful. They're great. Everybody comes, everybody attends. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to shop here. And then after the grand opening, you're like, okay, now what? This is when you really kind of see how the business is going to go, because you're going to start off that buzz from a grand opening is awesome, amazing. But then after that grand opening, you have to deal with the day-to-day. It's like the wedding, and then you get married later, and then you just kind of deal with it. Just joking. But anyway, so you get off that high, and now you have to really plan for the long-term success of the business. So think about what differentiates you and the aspects now, because now you got to get into the grind of the business. So now you really have to get into the hustle. Like I said, your grand opening is great, but now you got to hustle that business. So easier said than done. Find a great salesperson. Don't be afraid to give salespeople very specific goals. Keep them accountable to those goals. If it's your sister, your cousin, your mother, your parent, sister, brother, whatever it is, make sure if they're working for you, even if they're working for free, if they're a great salesperson that you use, make sure this is their job. And you keep them accountable. If they've agreed to it, to work with you or help you, make sure you keep what they do specific, and make sure that they're accountable for whatever they do. And I say that because you don't want them all over the place, and you don't want you all over the place. So again, whoever's helping you, make sure that you give them specific goals and make sure they're accountable to those goals. And stay enthusiastic. Always remember, you're out on your own. I will tell you, I've worked corporate for many years. I won't say how long, but I worked corporate for a very long time. Having my own business as an entrepreneur is the best high that I will tell you I've had. And again, I've loved my jobs, but having your own is the best high for me. Looking forward to every day, the hustle, I love it. Looking forward to running your own, business, your hours. I'll put in the work because I want it to grow. So I don't mind the hustle. So I'm always enthusiastic about my business because, again, having that hustle, that grind for me is very different. I can't get laid off. I can change the hours anytime I get ready. I can change the business structure. I can change the business model. So again, stay enthusiastic about what you're doing because that enthusiasm rubs off and it's infectious. Forge new connections and network. I understand that not everybody's good at it. I totally get it. Some people are like, I'm not the communication person. That's not really what I do. Find somebody that is. So if you got your person that works with you and they're great at communications, then you have them do that part of it. If you have somebody that's great at networking, or even if it's you, I'm honestly going to say, if you have a business, whether that's your forte or not, you are your best advocate because you know the business, you created the business, you started the business. So you are your best advocate for the business. So just talk to it. Some people that get nervous about doing that, just talk to it. Okay. So think about, although even if you're doing business right now, always think about, I'm preparing for the long term. So making sure that I'm networking, I'm making connections that are going to help me in the long run. That's what it's all about. You want to be sustainable. Set aside time. Although you're in the hustle, you're in the grind of the business, make sure that you continually invest, whether it's an hour a day. I'm going to work on new opportunities. I'm going to work on how do I extend this business beyond where it is now? Because it's very easy to work in the business and not on the business. And that's what I use even when I'm talking about Goldman Sachs. It's very, very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day that you're not really looking at how do I grow this business for the long haul. Get out of the grind, take an hour, even if you decide, okay, I'll do it on, whatever day in the morning. If it's Monday morning, if that's your slow day, I'll take 2 hours an hour. So even if you don't have an hour a day, dedicate some time that you put aside that I'm going to work on trying to get new opportunities. I'm going to try to generate sales, or even if it's like, okay, well, I want to change the structure. I want to add these items or add this business into the business, but just think about ways that you want to grow it. Dedicate time to connect in person. We are very easily caught up in, again, the social media is absolutely a must. Connect with people in person, whether it's, let me take you to coffee. I met you at this event. Can we meet? You work here. Can I just come by and just pass out my card or whatever? You want to make sure that you meet with people in your industry who could become later valuable to your business, potential partners, advisors. They could even become your clients once they know more about your business and once they know more about you. People will do business with you based on who you are if they like you. And I use that all the time. And I think, we miss it when we're so focused on it. Social media is a must, absolutely. But connecting with people in person is absolutely, I think, as critical to an extent, because when people understand who you are as a person, they will do business with you if they like you. And they will have other people do business with you if they like you. Schedule weekly meetings or set aside time for networking events. Get on as many lists as you can to network. You may not be able to attend all of them. I'm not saying run yourself ragged to attend every networking event. Figure out what you can do and what you can't do. Go to the ones that are important and the ones that are not important. So if there are networking events that you think would be beneficial, attend them. Again, I mentioned setting up coffee meetings. People are definitely, if you said dinner or lunch, they're a little bit, sometimes people don't have time. If you said coffee, people know that's quick. We're just having coffee. I just need 45 minutes, a half hour of your time. People are definitely willing to do that. Happy hours are great because happy hours, there's no commitment. Happy hours from 5 to 7, you swing by for 45 minutes, touch base, and then you can go. Pass out your card, talk to whomever, and you may end up staying longer. But happy hours are no commitment. Participating in discussion panels, no matter how small of a group, Always, if you have an industry that you're confident in, that you can talk to, that you feel like you are very knowledgeable in, offer to, I'll participate in a discussion panel. That also creates brand awareness. It will extend your business, your reach. So those are things that I would say try to do. Like I said, I mentioned LinkedIn and Instagram to keep your business relevant. LinkedIn is great because, again, the more you post on LinkedIn, you can post, you don't even have to do much on LinkedIn. Post your business, have a business page, and then you can post information that's relevant to your industry. And people start to remember who you are. Repetitiveness is the key for people understanding brand awareness. I mean, think about any brand that's out there, you see it over and over and over again, you start to remember it. And it's the same thing with your business. Developing and sustaining successful business relationships. So before I start that segment, I'm going to answer some more questions. Check out Heart for Small Business. Somebody mentioned as far as small businesses, there was a recommendation on the chat. Heart for Small Business, they found them affordable. Another person verified that. So that's another example. This person did Hickox. They seem more comprehensive than Hartford or Next for online. So these are all great recommendations that I think we can take notes of. So, okay, so Hartford, I'm gonna put down and I can put them in the chat. Also, they said agents are better, they will get you better insurance and cover more assets. Online assets are limited to 30K. Some of them I think extend beyond 30K, but it just will cost you more. I know Next did, but they cost you more. I'm not saying to use Next, I'm just saying they were online. I think, but thank you guys for the information. Okay, so this person said, I want to provide CPR training for my staff. Can I have your friend contact? Yep, I will put it in there. So remind me, I will put that in the chat, the CPR info. I'm taking notes here. Yep, CPR training, and that was Shay. Okay. I will give you the information. Let's see here. I think that's it for now, and then we'll come back. All right, so here we go. Let me see. So we'll start this segment, which is developing and sustaining successful business relationships. This is my most favorite part of the webinar. Because, why? Because this is where we, as business owners, we as people lose sight of who we are and taking the time, I guess, to establish relationships, I'm gonna say. So the question becomes, well, how do I do that? Most people are like, okay, well, how do I build business relationships? I got this business now, but how do I start to build various relationships? The hallmarks of good business relationships include trust, loyalty, and communication. That's it. Trust, loyalty, and communication. I'm going to tell you those three things. The success of long-term business relationships are dependent upon trust. People have to trust you in order to do business with you. I grew up in a time when my great grandmother said, you can get a loan based on your word. You can do business based on a handshake. That's the way I was raised. So I say that to say, if people trust you, they will do business with you. And it still does stand true today. Okay. Identify how you can provide additional value. So when people meet with you, and when you meet with people, business owners or whomever, you want to know what their business is. They want to know what your business is, but everybody wants to know, how can you provide additional value? What can you do for me is in essence what I'm saying. What can you do for me? How can you help my business? And we all think that, whether we say it or not, that's what we think. How can you help me? And we tend to discount the people or that can't. So whenever you talk to someone, you want their business, think about how you can provide additional value to them. That is extremely important. So when people are talking to you, if you have a coffee, like say you meet somebody for coffee, and you don't go in with, boom, that's my goal, but make sure that you think about when you meet with people, even think about your business and kind of come up with ideas in your mind that you can always talk to. How can I provide additional value to anyone, to their business? What can I do to help them? And how is that going to be relevant to them and their business? The next thing is to listen. Listening, I can't even stress, is important, because when you listen to people talk, you find out a lot. Listen to what they're saying, you can read between the lines. So learn to listen between and read between the lines, listen to what they're talking about, and then think about, in your mind, how can I help them? Because a lot of times people will tell you what's going on if you just listen without telling you what's going on. So listening is critical. Working on your communication skills. How do you relay the value that you have to a business, to a company, without getting tongue-tied or without feeling like I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't talk well. Think about, so you want to work on it. Think about how you can talk to your business. And for me, if I know it, it's my business, I developed it, I can easily talk to it. So that, I think, is something that you just got to learn to relax. One of my comments is that just learn to relax when you're talking about your business. And if you're enthusiastic about it, if you know it, it does help you be able to communicate with other people about your business. For me, again, everything I'm listing here are key factors that I feel like I would provide to anybody. And what I want: have excellent customer service. I grew up in a time when customer service, again, I have a retail background, so customer service is how you build a business. Again, if it doesn't matter what type of business, building customer service, like I said, it can be a service-based business, but anything that you do, you want to have customer service. If you have people come in and shop to buy groceries, you want to make sure you have customer service, asking them about their day, asking them how they are. Do you need anything else? Is there something I can provide you that, I don't have here? What can I get you for your next visit? Anything else? And think about, like I said, there's a ton of ways you can give good customer service. Just communicating with people. Often I find that, and I'm going to tell you, particularly with a fast food place, I find, and this is just me, that I get the worst customer service. And I say that because, can I take your order? That's not good customer service. And a lot of times if I'm in the grocery store or if I'm purchasing, fast food or whatever it is, I'm like, hi, how are you? Because people want to know that they have a smile. And that's something that we don't really, just in general, train people on customer service and giving it and expecting it. If I had an employee, they must give good customer service, because that's part of who I am as a business and part of what I represent. So I am a strong advocate of providing good customer service, because it's something that we don't get, and it stands out when you do get it. And you're like, wow. Partnering with other businesses, I think today is, as much as social media plays a part, when you connect with people in person, when you partner with other businesses, it is definitely something that is a help to your business, because they help spread brand awareness about your business and vice versa. There's enough pie to go around for everybody. There's enough money to go around for everybody, that we don't have to be stingy and selfish with it. Think about ways that you can partner. So for instance, if you have, a business in an area, you may say to a business owner, hey, you got cards about your business? I'll let you put them up in my business, my place of business, or I'll pass them out for you, and they can do the same thing for you, or share the information you have. So there's a number of ways that you can always partner. If you have a business that is complementary to another business, perhaps you can share that way. There's a number of ways that you can partner with other businesses, even tagging. You may call them out and say, hey, I said your business on Instagram or TikTok or whatever to support your business, and vice versa, they do the same. But in essence, there's a number of ways you can kind of grassroots and partner with other companies. Again, focus on mutual success. Again, there's enough money out here for everybody to get a slice of the pie. It's just, if we partner with one another, I think we will go further. I always try to build relationships where I partner with other businesses and help support them. And even if it's not my business, I have no skin in the game. I will tell people about the business because I think it's important and vital. I don't have to get anything out of it. but it's kind of karma that when you do things for other people, other businesses, it comes back to you. Build trust and establish credibility. Again, I talked about that. That is when people will trust you and come back to you. Again, people will love that. Focus on relational value, not transactional value. Important, important, important. Everybody's trying to get the sale. They're trying to get the number. They're trying to get the dollar. But when you focus on the relationships, the dollar will come. It will absolutely, because in the long run, say you don't get the money today, it's going to come later because they're going to remember the relationship they had and give you business down the line. So although you may not have it this second, it's going to come. So I would say relational value is definitely important, not necessarily the transactional value. Of course, you want the money, but you also want the relationship. Treat people like your friends and family. So, well, in some cases, hopefully, if I'm going to be kind of cautious with that one because some people don't treat their friends and family well, but you want to make sure that if you did, you treat people like your friends and family. People value that relationship. And put your customers first. So that's one that I put in here. And I'm going to put a pin here and answer some chats because I'm getting some questions here. So here we go. Let me go back up. Let's see. Okay, wow, I got to go back a while. Okay, so here we go. Can we post the insurance companies? I will post them at the end that I wrote down. Can you post the insurance companies? Did that one. I really liked your social media slides and recommendations on doing yourself, hiring an event. Okay, hiring an agency. Okay, so they like the social media slides. Any recommendations on doing it yourself, hiring a team, hiring an adult, hiring an agency? I would say there's a number of ways that you can get people to help. I was just informed recently that you can go to, if you have a business, you can go to the unemployment offices and they have, it depends on what state, like Indiana, they'll pay half. There are some states that will, if you get an intern or get somebody to intern in your business, like say from an unemployment agency, you can train them on your business and unemployment will pay a percentage. They may pay half, some states pay all of it. So check with the unemployment agencies and they have interns that can come and they can work for you. You training them on the business, but and also they're sharing some of the costs for it. So there are some agencies that will, unemployment will do that, but just check to find out what the industry is. I would say absolutely hire a team, especially college students for the summer coming home. You may want to do that and pay them. Some want the experience. There are different agencies, and I actually don't have it in front of me, but I have worked with a couple of them and met some at events that they are, I can't think of a name, but they hire up to 24 years old. If you have an industry, they will pay for them to come work for you. And they're in exchange, that person is getting the experience and learning the business. But I don't have it in front of me. So again, you guys can reach out, but I do have the information, but just not in front of me. How do we get credit for the web? Are the PowerPoint slides available? They will be available. I need partners and I need funding. Okay, so there's a number of places you can get funding. One, I can tell you, I don't know if you've checked Allies for Community Business. They give funding, especially for new business owners. I know they had Allies for Community funding. I'm not sure the interest rate, but I know they do for new startups. They have a lot of plans for that. And they have a program where they'll loan you, I think it's up to $25,000 for a new startup. And you have 2 years to pay it off. So if you're a new startup, you think you're going to be able to pay $25,000 off, they have a great one. And I think it's quick, but it's Allies for Community Business. I have a 5-year plan, business plan and projection. They are also good, Allies for Community Business for that one. There are a number of agencies that I can also point you to for funding that do that. CDFIs, community development organizations. Okay, so I'll put my information in here. So anybody that has questions after that can contact me if I miss anything. So my information will be on here. So you guys will have my cell and my email. The virtual world is stealing. This person said, love the emphasis on value of in-person connections, because it is important. The virtual world is great, but it is stealing so much, and that is so true. We need it. It's an important factor, but you absolutely have to have in-person communication. Business, I'm trying to get partners will produce revenue forever. Can I request copies of the slides? Yes, hello. Having a business plan, cut through the red tape. And I'm gonna go over that in a second. So let's see here. Okay, let's see. A4C Business and W, okay, offer free coaching on social media. Yes. Women's Business Development Council, Allies for Community Business, somebody's heard of them. They offer free coaching on social media. There are so many organizations. If you guys, if you feel the need to email me, there's so many organizations out here that BACP is one, but there's so many that I meet at different events that I have, and they have great information. So if you email me, I can email you information back. So, all right, so I'm gonna run through this. Oh, wait, sorry guys. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Click. All right, so why business relationships matter. We talked about that. Forming a relationship with a client builds trust. It helps referrals. So even if you deal with somebody, you meet with somebody, I love networking events, because even if you meet somebody that they don't necessarily jive with your business, referrals are always great. I am an advocate of referring. I meet people all the time. I meet organizations and businesses. I love referring people. If I can't help you, I'm going to refer you. So referral business is always great. And especially if you have a great vibe, a great energy. Again, it's that relational value and not necessarily transactional. Because again, you may not get business out of it today, but if I like you, I'm going to refer you. And that's the way most people operate. And this is how you forge like the long-term relationships. Relationships build trust and create loyalty to a business. Again, social media is fabulous. I can't stress it enough, but building relationships and person relationships that they know who you are, they can pick up the phone and call you, is great. Working retail, I was a regional manager for Movado Group, which is watches, for many, many years, for 16 and a half years. I did business in Canada and the US. So, and I worked with every major account, Nordstrom, Neiman Sachs, Bloomingdale's, everybody. So I will tell you, one of the ways that I created, I could call anybody now and get what I need, because I develop relationships. And it's not that I did it with any intent, but when people can pick up the phone and they have an issue, they have a problem, they can pick up the phone and call you and know that you will get it resolved. Or if they needed a favor, you'll take care of it. It starts to develop relationships. They could call me for whatever. If there was an issue or problem, okay, I'll take care of it. And they knew it was going to be taken care of. They didn't have a question, but in turn, I could pick up and call them and it's like, oh, I really need this. I can still do that today. And I don't even work for Movado because I developed relationships. I had a couple jewelers that I'm friends with. One is in a mall, Aurora, and one is in Schaumburg. And they called me. I haven't worked with them for years. They called me, asked me a question. I gave them some advice. They're like, come in anytime you need anything, just come in. Because I just developed relationships. Because again, it's referrals. And if anybody has anything, I answer. If I don't get back to you today, I'll get back to you. But I try to answer everybody that gets in contact with me with a response. I don't like crickets. I try to get things resolved in a timely manner so that people know they can rely on me. They trust me. And that's just because that's who I am. But you make sure you create this environment and those relationships, and they will take you further than just today. So building a working relationship with customers, it's a key to long-term success of having a business. Having a strong connection with your customers is amazing. And knowing, again, they will come back if you treat them well, just like we do. If you treat me well, I'm coming back, you'll get my business again. So always think about you. Why are business relationships important for your business? It improves, building business relationships, it does help improve your communication skills, because the more that you deal with people, the more comfortable you become, and the more you will actively be able to promote your business. It increases your confidence. And again, while you're building relationships, I will tell you, happy hours networking is always, I think, an easy way to just kind of do it. without the stress of having to do it. But you're just talking to people. Your customers will remain loyal to your business. Yep. If you treat them well, they're coming back. Good word of mouth is always your best marketing. The investment in after sales service shows that you value customers. So even after you got their business, make sure you follow up if you can, if that's the type of business you have. But always try to, if you need anything, come back. I'll take care of you. And I am always, if you come back to me, it may hurt me, but I mean, like if it's something I got to refund or whatever, I'm going to take care of you, because that's just, I want you to be happy. I want you to come back. I want you to refer. And this is how you drive your sales and stuff. So the most obvious aspect of maintaining a strong relationship is communication. Always communicate, communicate, communicate. It does build trust. And again, having somebody be able to contact you without necessarily just, an email, it helps. And being able to pick up a phone, especially if you're doing business with them, than having to go through someone else, you taking care of it personally and knowing that it's done makes people happy. Prompt and productive communication is an attractive trait. So getting back to people pretty quickly is what people like. I like when somebody answers my phone call. I like when I can resolve something for somebody, because they're happy and I'm happy. A mutual benefit of this, of your relationships, is ongoing communication. Again, if I can't do business with you, I may know somebody that could do business with you. I'm an advocate of referrals, but having close and trusting contacts will give you an edge, because we all know that it's great to have people in the know. So when you can call somebody and say, you know what, I need this, or can you refer me to somebody? It's priceless. Having those relationships are amazing. Remember, core customers are king. Nourish your dreams and they'll nourish you in return. And always remember, a big business starts small, because a lot of people are like, I'm small, I'm this, and they don't really give themselves credit for it. If you are thinking about starting a business, or if you have started a business, that's a win, because a lot of people are afraid of doing that. So remember, even if you're small, a big business starts small. And most of all, don't forget to have fun. But now I'm not through. So here is my information. Here's my information. I'm Audria Green Hawkins. I am the outreach director for Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. So what that means is I work for Goldman Sachs as part of my regular job, but I work for Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. And Goldman Sachs developed this program. They wanted to promote small business owners or small businesses. And they put in about 12 years ago, they put $500 million into growing small businesses. And why? Because they really understood that promoting small businesses and helping them grow stimulated the economy. Yes, there are a ton of large businesses. However, small businesses fuel the economy. So that's what they wanted to do and continue to do. So I'm going to talk about Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has a free business education program. It is free. No skin off you, no money coming out of there. The only thing you have to do is your time and your energy. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program as well. So again, the initial investment by Goldman Sachs was $500 million. Now 3 years ago, going on 3 years ago, Goldman decided, now we've reached over 12,000 businesses that we've put through the program, that now we're going to invest 250 million more. So that was in December of 2020. So now Goldman has invested more money in educating small business owners. In Chicago, we have over 1,000, I think it's like 1,200 now, businesses that have gone through our program. And it is to help you grow the program. So I'm going to tell you what you get out of the program. There's a total of 750 invested, which I told you about. Collectively, like I said, it's about a little bit over 13,000 nationwide that have gone through the program. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program. So let me play this quick video and tell you a little bit about it. And then I'll keep going.
Our guiding principle in this country is equality of opportunity, and 10,000 small businesses is a big part of that.
I love making coffee. I love talking about coffee. Yeah, I love coffee a lot.
The part I love about my business is that it fixes lives.
Any sort of artwork that you see on clothing when you're in a store, we've probably made it.
We are an energy solutions company.
We are a mechanical contracting firm based out of Philadelphia.
Healthy food company based in Harlem.
New Orleans, Detroit,
Miami.
When I started my company, we had one employee. The second day, we had one employee and a coffee pot. Almost every big business was a small business.
We had no business background when we started.
The hard part is keeping the business afloat.
there has been a lot of challenge involved with the family and also the company that wants to grow at the same time.
The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program gets you in the mindset to stop working business and work on business.
To be put in a room with 23 other people.
Everyone, made so much sense. And that every day that I left there, there was something on my list that I could immediately apply to my business.
At the time I took the program, we had 13 employees, and now after the program,
Our income was $400,000. Now we are over 3.5 million.
When we expand from 2 to 5 locations, we will about double the amount of employees.
My company is going to skyrocket to be able to create jobs and have a positive impact on our community.
we're doing a service to our society.
The work that you do is just all around.
Sensei Ramos is graduating from high school. Give him a hand.
I'm sorry, this is streaming, guys.
When I meet a small business person, I never feel better about the prospects of the United States and the strength of people and that the American trajectory is secure for another generation.
Okay, so just to give you guys like, it's again, we offer a free business education program for small business owners. There are some requirements, but just tell you about the program is basically, it's a cohort. So you will go through 13 weeks of peer-to-peer learning. There's a growth plan. So you come out of the program. Everything we do in this program is structured to you. So you will come out of the program with your own 5-year growth plan. What that means is you will have written your growth plan on how you see your business growing. Your idea for your business, for every business is different. So you will have a 5-year growth plan on if I want to sell this business in 5 years, I'm going to grow it and make it a succession business. But you will have a planned written growth plan that you can take to a bank and get money for. You will have a business advisor that is dedicated to you, not one that is just assigned to you by name. You will meet with them and talk to them. They come out to your place of business. You communicate with them regularly through the week and even after the program is over. We do not give loans, but we provide you with capital, the access to it. So we have banks, we have CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions that come out, and they help you gain access to capital. They help you get your numbers, or if your numbers are not together, they help you get that together so that you can get the funding based on your growth plan and what you want. So we provide all of that. So these are the 9 modules that you will go through. It's every week you will meet. It is a strenuous program, but when you come out of the program, you can basically say, I went through the Goldman Sachs program. Everybody that has gone through the program has grown tremendously in their businesses. I meet people all the time, and they talk about how they've grown, their business has grown significantly going through the program because we educate you and train you on how to grow your business. So you started it and then you're like, okay, I'm making the sales, but now what do I do with it? How do I grow it to the way my vision and my eye sees it? 67% increase their revenue within 6 months. 47% create new jobs because we tell you and educate you on how to do that. You were already great for just starting the business, but then, again, growing it is where we step in. We have a 98% graduation rate. These are some of the people that have gone through a program here. Some of you have seen, some of you have not, but we have every industry from services, consulting, retail, that go through our businesses. After you graduate, we offer the 10 KSB alumni program. So we don't just drop you once you leave, you are still in touch. There's networking events. You get a year's membership to the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. There's all sort of workshops and things that you become part of when you become part of the Goldman Sachs alumni program. We have the summit that happened last year in 2022. It's every 2 years, and Goldman Sachs paid for everybody that went. We had 2,500 businesses that wanted to go, and Goldman Sachs paid for all of it. It was in DC, and it was they paid for everything. So it was George Bush was a speaker, Michael Bloomberg was there, the CEO of Spanx, Ryan Reynolds, Gwyneth Paltrow. So they paid for all of that, and it was great. So again, we're very much advocates of, small businesses. And the Fellows Program that you see here, that's for business owners that it's in the beta testing phase right now. But if you have a business and say a college student or a person who's in a trade was interested in your industry, Goldman Sachs paid the fee for them to come, pay their hourly rate for them to work in your business if you're an alumni, and you get the benefits of having a worker work in your business. So that's kind of a win-win. These are the qualifications to be part of to even submit your application, but you have to be the owner or co-owner, 2 or more years in business, annual revenue of 75,000 or more. You can have 2 full-time employees. You can consider yourself as an owner or co-owner, a full-time employee. Or in lieu of the 2 full-timers, you can have 2 or 3 part-timers, which equate to a full-timer. So you can have them and then still equate to being 2 full-time employees, but you can consider yourself a full-time employee. And basically, if you meet these qualifications, have the desire to grow your business and your time. We meet once the cohort begins, like the fall cohort begins in September. It begins September 14th and it ends December 15th. It is every Friday at Harold Washington College from 8:30 to 5:30. So it is a program where you're going to work, but you'll come out of it. It's basically like getting a CEO, becoming a CEO in your business, and you will get free business education for your program that will help it grow. So I can't stress it enough because everybody that comes out of it is extremely positive. You can follow us on LinkedIn. Here is the information about the fall cohort. If anybody is interested in applying, you're under no obligation to apply. But it is a great program if you meet the qualifications and would like to grow your business. So I was trying to make sure I stay on time so I can answer questions. Here is the information. So while I have my information up, let me go through some of the questions. Okay, let's see here. This person said I need to get in as soon as possible. You guys can email me. I can email you information about the program. You can also apply at 10ksbapply.com. If you have any questions about, oh, I have 1 full-timer and I got 3 interns, email me first before you apply, okay? But the website to apply, if you know you just meet everything straight off without any questions, 10ksbapply.com is where you can do it. I'm trying to go to the next slide here. Here's me, here is my email, and here is my cell number. Let's see here. Okay, and I need to post a couple things before we get off really quick. The insurance companies, I will give them really quick, was Hickox, Hartford, Next, and then there was one, Bobby, is B Booker. It's in the chat. insexchange.com, and it's Brandy Booker. I'm writing her information down. If I get a chance before we get out of the chat, I can write it down really quick. Brandy Booker, the Insurance Exchange, and it's 773-349-7739. The person that asked about the CPR stuff, I'm putting it in here. Here's the website. surebiometrics.com. Kevin, can you email me? Kevin Matthews, can you email me? I know you gave me your information, but in case I don't get it, can you email me? Let's see, I'm trying to answer everybody. The workshop, just to reiterate, when the cohort is the 13 weeks, when it begins, is going to be September 14th through December 19th, which is the graduation date. We meet every Friday at Harold Washington College from 8:30 to 5:30. I know it seems like it's a lot, but the day goes by really fast. It's very interactive. You're not just sitting in the classroom taking notes, and everything is applicable to your business. So we provide breakfast, we provide snacks, we provide lunch, we provide snacks. So your meals you would not have to pay for, we pay for that as well. But it's on Fridays, every Friday. So if anybody's interested, the person asked about CPR information, www.surebiometrics.com. Again, if you want to know about different organizations and other different panels that may be able to help, email me and I'll reach out and I'll try to get back to you guys. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, Kevin, let me write your information down. Or 2 at Gmail. 6. Did I miss anything that you guys that I need to give you? Like I said, phone number is okay, so let's see here. What else? Insurance companies, business insurance. I'm trying to write it in here really quick. I'm just writing down the recommendations. That you guys put in here. Hartford. And this person recommended Brandy Booker. At the Insurance Exchange. Anything else, everybody? And I'm writing her information. Okay, so let's see, 349. Okay, what else? Okay, so we got 1 minute left. Do you have to earn 75,000 to register? Yes. You have to do 75 for this one, but Murad, if you have any, I can point you at other facilities, email me, and I can let you know other cohorts that can help you with a new startup. What other webinars am I facilitating? I don't know yet. BACP will let me know. So let's see. Contact info in the chat. You guys can reach me at @Hawkins, green like the color, Hawkins @ccc.edu, green like the color, Hawkins @ccc.edu. And my number is 773-425-0888. And I think that's it. Let me see, I got one more message. My business plan was created by a bank vice president. Great. Okay, good. Do we offer these webinars in Spanish? That would be for the BACP to answer, because I'm not sure. So BACP, do we offer these webinars in Spanish? 773-425
webinars in Spanish.
Nicole, 0888. 733-425-0888. Green, I'm putting it in the chat. Also, but okay, so I think that answered everything. Okay. All right, so okay, so this person, thank you, Audria. Would love to sign up for future workshops with you. Thank you guys, you're amazing. Thank you for the questions. I will come back whenever BACP invites me to come back, and we'll choose a topic. If you guys have any topic ideas, let me know. But I would love to come back anytime they ask me, and email me. And I'm on LinkedIn, so let me know. A Green Hawkins I'm on LinkedIn, Audria Green Hawkins. So if you want to follow me. All right, Rosa is interested in receiving the webinar's information in Spanish. And she left her information, rosa3544@gmail. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank you. If you are part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program and would like to receive credit for today's webinar, please send an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. Again, that's bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. Thank you and have a good evening.